This is the RAC basic sample family that comes with Revit. Now, if we take a look at it, it appears to be a table. And I can spin this around by holding the Shift key down on the keyboard while also holding the wheel down on my mouse. Then if you move the mouse while holding down Shift and the wheel, you can spin this around, look at it from underneath, or look at it from the top. Now, this family has certain properties associated with it that make it a furniture family. And we can find that underneath the Create tab on the ribbon, and it will be Family Category and Parameters. So if we select on the Family Category and Parameters button, we can see that this is labeled as being Furniture. In fact, Furniture is highlighted here. This list shows all the different kinds of families that this piece of furniture could be. So even though it's not specifically called a table, it is called a furniture. If on the other hand we wanted to call it something else, all we would need to do is highlight that other thing here on the list, and it would become that kind of object when it comes to scheduling it, as well as some of the default properties that are associated with it. So, for example, if I wanted this to be part of the Furniture Systems category instead, I could just highlight on that, and then it would schedule as being a furniture system. If I move up here and select on Doors, it's going to give me a warning message, but it's going to say that this is a door now. And if I would click on OK, insert it into my project, it would register as being a door object instead of a piece of furniture. So if you ever download a family off of an online resource, or you have somebody in your office who doesn't really know how to create Revit families, you load that into your project and then you can't find it anywhere, there's a very good chance that what has occurred is that here in the Family Categories and Parameters, it's been mislabeled as the wrong kind of object. So you can always come back in here and then highlight the kind of object it should be, and then from there on out it will schedule as that kind of object. Now, a couple other things to know about are these family parameters down below this list. 3 things in particular. One is work plane based. What this means is that if you have a work plane and you want to draw along the work plane, if there's a check mark in work plane based, then this can be at an angle or any place where that work plane is at. If work plane based is not check marked, then there's a very good chance this could just be hosted to an individual level instead. Always vertical? Always vertical means that it is always going to be straight up and down. If you clear the check mark next to always vertical, then it could be on its side or on its edge, or not going straight up and down, but it could go in whatever angle that the work plane it is that it's been drawn on. Then there's also a checkbox down here called shared. Now, shared is kind of important because if it's shared, it means that it can be scheduled, particularly if it's embedded inside of another family. So if you decided to have a furniture system that had 4 individual chairs as well as this table, and you wanted to be able to schedule this table independently, you could put a little check mark here in shared, and then if it came time to just schedule a piece of furniture, you could see how many tables there were. If you did this with a chair, and there was 4 chairs going around the table, you'd be able to schedule each chair instead of it just registering as being one piece of furniture. So the family categories and parameters, which can be found underneath Create, and then this button right here, allow you to categorize what kind of family this is, as well as where it's going to schedule in the Revit environment.